Hello, I'm going to be talking to you all this week about how stress can cause weight gain and the role of cortisol. This is from an article that I got off of Very Well by Elizabeth Scott. And I believe a lot of us could possibly relate to this week's topic in general because how stress impacts so much. A lot of times, and which is also spoken in the article here, that stress can cause an individual want to emotionally eat, have types of sugar cravings. A lot of times when people are stressed, they don't want to even eat, and how this impacts the body. So, the stress hormone cortisol can lead to weight gain. Each time an individual is stressed, their adrenal glands release adrenaline and cortisol. The result of this, which is glucose and is our primary source of energy, is then released into our bloodstream. This is done to give us energy that we need to avoid a fight or flight response. In our text, Lifetime Physical Fitness and Wellness, the instant physiological reaction to stress is called the fight or flight mechanism. This prepares an individual to take action by activating the body's vital defense systems. This may initiate several mechanisms that has enabled humans since the beginning of time to react quickly to life-threatening situations. It also heightens the senses and fuels vital systems with added energy to prepare the body to fight fight a threat or flee to safety. An individual may not intake foods that are high in fat and sugar. However, cortisol in general slows down one's metabolism, which can make it very difficult to lose weight. So, some stress induced unhealthy habits that people often pick up, like I said, is emotional eating, eating accessible or fast food. A lot of times people don't have a lot of time to cook, and they just said, they just want to grab the quickest thing that they can get. So, because they have other things that they need to do. So, oftentimes people exercise less, they skip meals and sleep less. But ways to break that cycle for an individual who might be stressed. There are ways that you can make exercise a priority. It is essential for warding off stress that is related to weight gain. Eating healthier comfort foods. So in times of stress, find foods that are healthier instead of um, eating chips. Maybe you can do rice cakes. But there are alternatives, and a lot of times, like I said, it's called comfort food for a reason. I think we all know a source of comfort food. So we'll turn to that brings us comfort, but really we're just hurting ourselves even more by doing so. Practice mindful eating. Be mindful of how often you eat, what you're eating, and even journal your food. So seeing the food that you're eating might also register something else as well. And drink more water. It says here in the article too, it is oftentimes that individuals confuse hunger for thirst. So they will eat instead of drink, which can, of course, you end up over consuming the daily intake of calories that one probably should be intaking. An advice I would give to a client that it is having stress in their life that might be affecting them trying to lose weight would be, let's try to figure out what your daily habits are. Let's look at the nutrition aspect of what are you intaking as far as food and your physical activity. If stress has limited those two categories and you're turning to comfort food and you're not exercising as much, maybe let's find the root to the stress. And if necessary, some individuals might need to go see psychotherapy, talk to a therapist to try to figure out ways how to healthily navigate those stresses that they are dealing with. I would tell a client that, God is our comforter, He's our sustainer, He is our redeemer. And if we truly cast all our cares to Him, for He cares for us, He will see us through. I'm reminded about from Philippians 4:6, and this is a scripture that I personally live by daily as a constant reminder that says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And that's from the NIV translation. But, making our requests known to God to say, God, I have this going on, and not trying to carry that weight all on our own, figuring out what I'm overwhelmed about, what I'm overthinking about, is it worth it? Making sure that the placement of energy in certain areas is dispersed evenly. And if it takes a client to just sit down and write down what their day to day looks like and what stresses them out, seeing it on paper, a client could also say, okay, well, maybe I can maneuver this or do something a little bit differently. So I would definitely encourage a client that if they don't want to go to psychotherapy or see a therapist, that talk to a spiritual advisor, someone in the church, a pastor, a guidance counselor, or someone that would have a little bit more experience to try to help them navigate why they carry the stress that they do. Because once they find the root to why they are stressed, and how to find ways to eliminate the stress and incorporating healthy eating and exercising, I think it's going to yield the results the client is looking for. Thank you so much.